Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. If you're a returning listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, we're really glad you joined us and hope you like what you hear. So, our podcast is for people who choose personal responsibility, personal growth, and intentional living. And today we're going to get real on a subject that we think everyone should think about. We're going to talk about becoming the person you needed when you were younger. So, the concept here is we all carry tough experiences with us, and we all have a choice. We can keep repeating that cycle that we went through, or we can become the one who breaks it. And today, we're going to walk through 5 powerful, practical tips to take that pain and turn it into purpose. Each of them are backed by science. We're going to give you real world examples of people who took these actions, and we're going to give you a clear action that you can take right now to start becoming the person that you could have used earlier in your life. So, pretty straightforward, easy to say, very hard to do, but that's why people are on this podcast. We're people that want to make our lives better. We're people that want to challenge ourselves. We're people that want to grow as individuals, personally, professionally, and whatever aspect of our life we're focused on. So, with that said, let's jump into our tips. So, tip number 1 is to identify the core issue, problem, wound that you're carrying around, that you're stuck on, that's stuck in your head, that you obsess about, that you think about over and over again, that you blame for your problems. But here's the truth: you can't heal it if you won't acknowledge that it exists. All right? So we've got to be, that's the first step, is we've got to be real with ourselves. The CDC and Kaiser ACE study shows that early emotional wounds, so when you're a kid, neglect, abuse, instability, don't just disappear and go away. They don't just fade off into the ether. They show up in our adult lives as anxiety, overachievement, anger, or people pleasing. Those are all characteristics we see in ourselves, we see in other people. Let's just repeat those again because they're important. They show up in our adult lives as anxiety, overachievement, anger, or people pleasing. So if you're obsessing over one of those behaviors, or you exhibit one of those behaviors on a regular basis, it's probably tied to something that you haven't acknowledged yet, that you haven't been honest with yourself about. Terry Crews, the actor, talked openly about growing up in an abusive home. It shaped him, but instead of becoming bitter, he built his life around becoming a protector and a source of stability. Worked out regularly, played some in the NFL, is very disciplined, is very present for his family. So he took the approach of, I'm not going to allow this to happen to the people that I care about because it happened to me. So, how can you do that? What's your action item on this step? One thing you can do is write down the thing that you most needed as a kid that you feel like you didn't get. Was it a supportive parent? Was it someone to talk to? Was it a shoulder to cry on? Was it someone to give you advice? Whatever it is, write down the thing you feel like you needed as a kid. Was it safety? Was it encouragement from someone? Was it someone telling you the truth? Then decide how you will give yourself that now. Maybe you didn't get it as a kid, but you certainly have control over giving it to yourself now as an adult. So make the decision to do that today. By acknowledging it and taking it on, you will instantly start to feel some of that weight lift off of your shoulders. It's a really good tip. We suggest you try it. Really good place to start. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to stop waiting for closure. Stop waiting for resolution. You can create it. You don't need an apology from someone else to move on. You don't need someone to fix it. You don't need someone else to fix your problem. Studies in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology show that narrative writing can help people reframe painful experiences that they're carrying around with them and regain control of them. So Bethany Hamilton, she was the surfer who was attacked by a shark and it bit her left arm off. She rewrote her story through her words and actions. She didn't wait for things to feel fair. She created purpose out of pain. She got back in the water. She continued her surfing career. She refused to let a really terrible and scary experience define her as a person. And so she refused to allow that to happen. What's your action item on this particular issue? You can write a letter to yourself. Start there. Write a letter to the person you were, or the time when the person you were at the time this incident happened, or you have these feelings, or whatever you're carrying around. Tell them what happened. Then tell them what you're doing now to carry it forward and make it better. That's closure for yourself. You're providing yourself the closure you're looking for. You're providing yourself the apology you're looking for. You're providing yourself the acknowledgement that you're looking for. So that's a great way to deal with it. Don't wait for someone else to help you help yourself. All right. So tip number 3, you can build a daily identity-based habit. What does that mean? So it means you become what you say you are. You become what you think. You manifest the actions by thinking the thoughts. If you want to feel strong, do what strong people do. If you want to feel smart, do what smart people do. If you want to feel fit, do what fit people do every single day. If you haven't already, read James Clear's Atomic Habits. It's a great place to start. So James Clear wrote a book about the habit forming cycle and the habit breaking cycle. It's called Atomic Habits. It's an excellent book. Highly suggest you read it. He says transformation isn't about goals. It's about identity. So you become what you repeatedly act like. You manifest those things by daily actions, and the thoughts can lead you to the daily actions. A guy I know used to feel small and powerless because of how he grew up. So he lifts weights daily, not to get jacked, not to get ripped, not to be a monster, but to remind himself that he is strong and capable now. He's not the same person he was when he had those feelings and went through those experiences. So what's your action item here? Your action item is to pick one habit that represents who you want to be. Do you want to eat better? Then eat better food. Get rid of junk food. Do you want to be fit? Go to the gym every day. Just show up and start exercising. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. Doesn't matter if it's 100% correct. Start building the habit. Want to be strong? Lift weights. Want to be smart? Read books. Like, you can do it, and you can do it every day. By doing those things every day, you will start to become the person you want to be and the person that you have in your head. Anchor your new identity through consistent action. Those habits will convert you to the person that you want to be. It's very small and incremental, but it's very, very powerful. So that's your action item there. Okay, tip number 4 is to mentor someone like you once were. So it's a powerful truth. The best way you can heal is to help other people. The NIH found that helping others lights up the brain's reward center, giving us more meaning, less stress, and deeper emotional health. So that means you find someone who's struggling with what you were and help them. That will actually help you. It will make you feel better about the experiences that you're carrying around. Were you abused as a kid? Volunteer at a place where abused kids go and help them. Did you have an eating disorder when you were a kid? Volunteer at a place that has people with these eating disorders. You can help them. Whatever the issue was when you were a kid or earlier in your life, find someone who's there now and help them. That will actually help you. It will make you think differently. It will make you feel powerful. It'll make you feel in control. And if you do that, it'll be a gift to yourself. You will be helping yourself in those situations. A real world example here is Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is the NBA player, played for the Milwaukee Bucks, still does. There's rumors he's going to be traded, but still plays for them, won the NBA championship. But he mentors young athletes right now because they remind him of himself when he was growing up broke in Greece. He doesn't forget where he came from. He lifts others up with him. So instead of being bitter about that, instead of forgetting about it or trying to put it in his past, he embraces it and helps other people who are in the same situation he was to try to help them rise. By doing that, it actually helps him too. So what's your action item? Look for someone you can help. This is real straightforward. It could be just a conversation. It could be giving them guidance. It could be giving them encouragement. It doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It doesn't have to be massive. But if you do these actions, these consistent actions, small actions on a regular basis, you're going to feel way, way better. You're going to be who they need. And when you could have used that person in your life, you can be that person for someone else. And in doing so, you become who you needed, right? That's the goal here. And tip number 5 is to live by values, not by emotions. Your emotions don't get to drive the bus. Your values drive the bus. Acceptance and commitment therapy research proves that people who align their actions with their values, even when they don't feel like it, even when it's not convenient, even when it feels like it's hard to do, they live more fulfilling and less anxious lives. David Goggins is an example. David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL, gained a bunch of weight, didn't like how his life was, and he made up his mind he was going to change it. So he started kind of radical exercise and radical nutrition. And he now lives by that discipline all the time. He's developed a huge pain tolerance. He's developed grit because that was important to him. That's the person he wanted to become, and those were his values. So he lives by his values, not by his emotions or how he feels. He doesn't care how he feels about running 100 miles. He doesn't care how he feels about restricting his calories. He doesn't care how he feels about pushing through the pain when it comes. He just does it because that's who he is. So, your action item here is to pick 3 core values, write them down, look at them daily. Ask, what would a person with these values do in this moment? Then do that. Real simple. Don't say, I don't feel like working out. A fit person would go work out, so go work out. I want to eat the ice cream instead of eating the broccoli. A fit person wouldn't eat the ice cream, they'd eat the broccoli. Does it mean you never have ice cream again? No. Schedule it. Give yourself a treat once or twice a month, right? You can do those things. But if you live by your values and don't let your emotions rule you, you're going to wind up in a much better spot long term. So, the whole takeaway here is you don't need someone else's permission to grow, to change your life, to do what you want. You don't need anyone else to make it right. You don't need anyone else to solve the problems you've been dealing with. You have the power to become the person that you once needed. And doing that, you give yourself strength, you give others hope, and you build the life you want. Your pain, your trauma, your suffering, your anxiety, whatever, however it's manifesting itself, doesn't have to be the end of the story. You're only stuck there because you're choosing to stay stuck there. It can be the beginning of a new start. It can be the beginning of a new life that you want. It can be a great comeback story if you're willing to write it. So if this episode hit home, share it with somebody that could use it. All of us struggle with these types of things every once in a while. You might know someone who's struggling with them now. No big deal. Just share this episode with them. Let them think through these things, and maybe you can make a difference in their lives. Okay? So that's the episode for today, guys. Don't forget, James puts it up over every day. You can head over to our website, SaltyGingerTalk.com. All of our podcast episodes are available there. All the links to our social media accounts are available there. And we got a newsletter you can publish, a newsletter we publish every weekday that you can subscribe to and start your day off with a great newsletter. You can subscribe to that on our website. So please like, share, subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you consume it on. Super helpful for us if you're able to do that. Really appreciate you checking out the channel. Hope you're having a great week, and we will see you on the next episode.